Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's Lee here from Premier Training. It's our latest Facebook Live session. We haven't done one for a little while, so we're back. And today's session is all about the ICAEW and the ACA qualification, and it'll all become clear in a little while what that is and what that can lead to. So it's about our students and other AAT students, letting you know what's possible after your AAT studies and what you can move on to. And as I say, today we're focusing on the ICAEW. So we're being joined today. We often have the split screen format and two of us on here, so we're getting a bit ambitious. We're getting a bit cocky. There's three of us today, so we'll see if the technology holds up. We sometimes have an issue or two, but it'll be fine. So on my left, I think, is Alexia from the ICAEW. Hi, Alexia. You've joined us before. Nice to see you again.
Yes, thanks, Lee. Thanks very much for inviting us again, and hello to everyone. So looking forward to speaking to everyone about the ICAEW and the ACA. Thanks for inviting us.
No, great. Thanks for coming on. And also on my left, although it might be on my right, I'm confused already, is Adam. And Adam has in his younger days completed the AAT qualifications. He moved on to the ACA qualifications, and now has his own practice as well. So he's here to tell us a little bit about that progression and the opportunities and his career, really. So great to have you, Adam. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me, Lee. It's exciting.
Yeah, great to have you on board. So what we're going to do is we're going to get even more ambitious in a moment. We're going to bring up Alexia's presentation. It's going to split the screen into more sections. Alexia, you're going to tell us a bit about the ICAEW and the ACA qualification, and then we're going to have a chat with Adam. And if you want to ask any questions at all, the people watching live, let us know, and I'll keep an eye on those, and we'll try and answer those as well. So, without further ado, I'll pass over to you, Alexia, if you want to begin, and I'll see if we can display this presentation.
Thanks, Lee.
Right, I'm hoping it's there.
It is, yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Over to you, Alexia.
Yeah. So just to introduce myself, I work for the ICAEW in education and training, and I support employers who are training ACA trainees in Yorkshire and Humber and Nottinghamshire and Lincolnshire. But there's 15 of people in the team who do similar things nationally as well. So we're kind of the support people for trainees and employers. And I came across Adam when he was training and helped him and supported him through that from the ICAEW perspective. So that's kind of my day job. So if I let you know now, next slide, please, Lee, just a little bit about the ICAEW. So we love acronyms at the ICAEW, and one of them is our name. So that stands for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. So just to give you a little bit of background about the Institute, it's a long history, established in 1880. We collaborate with governments, with business leaders, forming policy. We're globally recognised, so we've got, even though it's called the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, we've got networks globally with the Chartered Accountants worldwide, and we form a worldwide community of accountants of 1.8 million. We're a diverse organisation, so over 50% of our members work in business in outside of practice. Lots of our members train in practice and work in practice, but we have members in business, in public sector, in across a range of diverse sectors. We offer flexible study and exam options for completion of the ACA to suit within work arrangements. This is a great stat. 89% of our trainees qualify in 4 years or less. And as a professional membership body, we offer support to our trainees and to our members, so kind of right throughout their career. We've got kind of sustainable goals. So within education and training, for example, all our learning materials are digital. We offer our exams on a digital platform. So our aim is to become carbon neutral. And another great stat at the end there as well, 77% of the FTSE 100 companies have a chartered accountant on their board. So that's kind of just showing you the the prestigious nature of the qualification. So we trained globally, so as well as, and you can see there where we train, so as well as having offices in London, we've got offices in Dubai, Beijing, and Brussels, and you're able to train outside of the UK, and also our members work outside of the UK as well, and we've got lots of links with professional membership bodies globally around the world. So why do employers and students choose the ACA? And Adam can tell you more about this as well. You know, what the reason why he chose the ACA. But when we've done surveys and feedback, a lot of it is on the community, the professional membership body, the support you get, you know, as a student and throughout your career. People like the fact that our skills that we develop are future-proof. We constantly review the syllabus. We have a formal review every 3 years to make sure it's fit for purpose in the current world of work and future work. I think the opportunity that the ACA gives you is really invaluable. So you're able to work around the world and across all sectors. The leadership potential it gives you is great. So, you know, quoting that stat again, 77% of the FTSE 100 companies have a chartered accountant on their board. I think the fact that the 90% of all students qualify in 4 years is a great attraction for the ACA. And the fact that you're able to study for it flexibly as well. So online, in the classroom, or a mixture of the two. And the support you get as a trainee, I think, again, Adam would be able to talk about this, is invaluable as well. And 80% of our students pass first time, which is good to know. And through the training agreement and you work with an employer, you have regular reviews to support you through the whole process. So I just wanted to let you know now just some common myths about ACA training, because myths do exist, and it's just good to let you know, to show you these myths are myths and not for real. So basically, a lot of people think you can only train in practice, and that's incorrect. You can train in a variety of sectors. So lots and lots of our trainees train in practice, and it's a great way to get work experience and train. But we have trainees in business, in the public sector, in not-for-profit, in large corporates, in smaller organisations. We have trainees with work in practice with a one-partner firm. So all size of organisation train, and across all sectors. And a lot of people think that you have to do audit to do ACA. Yes, you can do audit, and it's absolutely a valuable work experience, but the audit qualification is separate to the ACA, and it can be gained post-qualification if needed, but it's totally separate to the actual ACA. So you don't have to work in audit, and lots of our trainees in smaller practice work in firms that are not audit registered, and in business and in public sector, those trainees wouldn't be undertaking external audit. Another myth is that ACA students have to be graduates. So we'll blow that myth away today. You know, Adam came through as a school leaver onto AAT and then onto ACA. So you do not have to be a graduate to train for ACA. A lot of people think you have to train in blocks and be in the classroom and be out of your employment for a long time. Again, that's incorrect. We offer flexible tuition. You have to be in an authorised training employer to qualify and train. So you can start off as an independent student outside of the umbrella of an authorised training employer, but you have to be within one. And point 5 talks about that employer having to have a chartered accountant to train you within the organisation. Again, it doesn't have to have. As long as you've got someone who's IFAC qualified, so ACCA, ACA, CIMA, SIPA, that's absolutely fine. So you can go ahead and train. A lot of people think it's expensive to train for the ACA, but ACA training costs are competitive, and it can also be undertaken by a level 7 apprenticeship, and apprenticeship funding can be used to fund it. And the final myth is that ACA is designed and just for financial accounting and for working in practice. And again, that's a myth. It's a leading qualification, and it's also designed to suit management and commercial accounting. So one thing I want to let you know is that there are really good salaries for trainees and for qualified ACAs. I need to kind of, as a footnote here, say that these are average figures. We've got lots of qualified accountants within the figures. So the first figure, that 30k figure there, is the average starting salary for a graduate starting salary for accounting and professional services in the UK. So that's the general salary. The 50k salary is the global average salary for a newly qualified chartered accountant with up to 2 years work experience. That figure there is the average global member salary across sectors. And the last one there is the average global member salary for those working in business. So as a footnote, you've got people within those last two salary bands that, you know, are experienced chartered accountants, probably managing directors of very large companies, you know, skewing those figures, but they are the absolute average figures. So we've got one thing I wanted to let you know is just a little bit about our exam syllabus, and I'll go on and the next slide we'll kind of go through that. But just overall, I wanted to let you know there's a lot of breadth and depth to the syllabus. So we've got a tax stream, an audit stream, a business stream, and an accounting stream. So there's great depth there. We've got a unique exam style that develops key skills. So a lot about applying the knowledge that you learn, which is really relevant to when you're working. Lots high first-time pass rates. We've talked about the flexibility. There's also an opportunity when you get to the professional level to specialise. So you can specialise in tax, insurance or banking. Also, the ACA can develop your professional curiosity. We have a strong ethics learning programme as part of it, and we develop business partnering skills. We have great training from our partners in learning with the ACA. We're also digital, like I mentioned earlier. All our learning materials are digital, and you will do your exams all on a computer platform. Big emphasis on sustainability, technology content within the syllabus, as well as how the actual ACA is delivered is key. And we have with data analytics software embedded within our software when you take the exams now for a couple of the modules. So very technical, high technical content, technology content. I've mentioned before that the syllabus is reviewed. And then also key for AAT trainees, we have credit for learning available as well. So if you're a relevant graduate, you can get exemptions, but also we have standard set exemptions, and I'll go into those later, that you get when you've completed level 4 AAT. So that's our exam syllabus. And we've got the certificate, 3 levels, basically the certificate, professional, advanced. So quickly letting you know about those. The exemptions for your AAT are at that certificate level, that first stage, the green, in the green there. 6 exams there, they're all on demand, the multiple choice, and you get your results the next day. When you move on to the professional advanced level, they're set sittings. So we have 4 sittings a year at professional level and 2 sittings a year at advanced level. And the pass rates are 55% for certificate and professional level, and 50% for advanced level. And the idea is that you build through the certificate and professional level. And when you get to the advanced level, the last exam is the case study. You don't actually learn any technical information, any extra technical information for that exam. It's a culmination of everything you've learned over your 3 to 5 years of undertaking ACA. I just wanted to let you know as well about a joint program we have with the CIOT, so the Chartered Institute of Tax. It's called the ACA CTA Joint Program. It's specifically designed for trainees who want to specialise in tax, in either taxation of major corporates, taxation of owner-managed businesses, and taxation of indirect tax. And basically, it enables trainees to achieve both qualifications in a much shorter period. You're able to replace an exam, business planning taxation at professional level, with a CIOT exam. You go through and carry on then with your ACA, and at that point you're ACA qualified. And then there's just 2 CTA exams to do, and then you've got the CTA qualification as well. So it cuts down the number of exams you'd have to do if you were a qualified member by 2 if you embark on the joint program as a trainee. So the next slide is all about credit for prior learning. So this gives you information based on the 2016 AAT syllabus, but the same exemptions are available with the 2022 syllabus. And we've got details of all of that on our website under credit for prior learning if you want more information on that. So as you can see, there's up to 5 exemptions at certificate level for AAT level 4 trainees, and a couple of exams are within there relate to level 3 as well. So you can get exempt from the accounting. So with level 4 AAT, level 3 and 4, you automatically will get exempt from accounting, business technology and finance, and management information. For the principles of tax paper, you would need to have done the optional papers of both personal and business tax at level 4 AAT, and for the assurance exam at certificate level, you would have needed to have done the option of level 4 external auditing. So 3 core exemptions at level 4 and the option of 2 more if you've done those options. So I'll just quickly show you the journey for becoming a chartered accountant from AAT. So you can start thinking about it at level 3 AAT. And if you're not in an authorised training employer, you're able to, investigate getting your employer authorised. Because what that means is when you're then completing your AAT level 4, you can then go on to point 2 and claim credit for prior work experience. So that's the next one, Lee, so that you're able to, while you're undertaking level 4 AAT, count that work experience towards your ACA qualification. And it also enables you to reduce your training agreement down. So the set training agreement is 3 years, but if you've got a year's work experience while you're doing level 4 AAT, you can bring that down to 2 if your employer allows you. So it's good to find an authorised training employer or employer of your choice, either from starting level 3 AAT to gain credit for prior work experience, or when you've completed level 4, but then you wouldn't be able to claim the credit. And then you can commence onto the ACA, and it generally will take between 2 to 3 years for an AAT trainee with exemptions. So I'm now going to introduce you to Adam, one of our members. So like I said, I met Adam quite a few years ago now, and we haven't seen each other for a number of years, so it's good to see him. Really pleased he can join us, and because he's a great example of someone who's completed AAT and then gone through, qualified with the ACA, and is now successfully running his own practice with another director. So over to you, Adam, and thanks very much for being here.
Not a problem. So as you've both already discussed, I started out doing AAT. I started in 2012 when I first started AAT. Did AAT 3 years, and sort of the beginning of level 4 was when my employer approached me about whether I wanted to go on and do chartered, and which qualification I wanted to go, or if I just wanted to stay as I was. So I decided to do the ACA and CTA joint program that Alexia was explaining a couple of slides ago. I started my ACA 2015. It took me just a touch over 3.5 years to complete it, for me to get my ACA. Still not completed the CTA. I've got 1 exam left. It's kind of been put on hold for setting up the practice and everything. There's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. During that time, those 3.5 years that I was doing it, there's always someone at the end of a phone, at the end of an email, in-person meetings. The support was really good. I did all my training distant. I did everything online. I did not enter a classroom once during my entire career leading up to being qualified. It just shows that you don't need to be in a classroom to get there. You can, with the support that's available, is easily achievable for everyone that's thinking about potentially getting on and doing it. Post qualification, spent maybe another year at the practice where I did all my training. I was there for a touch over 8 years, and then decided to make the jump and start my own practice. Yeah, we're in our second year currently. We've got an apprentice studying AAT. Hopefully she goes on to do chartered. Yeah, and yeah, one of the best decisions I ever made. I didn't think I would have been able to set up my own practice without going through ACA. So yeah.
That's great to hear, Adam. Yeah, that's great, and thanks for sort of telling us about your journey there through the AAT and onto the ACA, and how that pathway has helped you sort of achieve that and start your own practice. And now you've got a trainee and an apprentice working under you, and hopefully following the same pathway, which is great, isn't it? So from our perspective at Premier Training, most of the courses we offer are AAT. So can I ask you about those first of all? Is that okay? In terms of the AAT qualification? Yeah, in terms of the sort of AAT qualification, we always tell students and prospective students they're a great foundation, and then you can go off in all kinds of directions. And in your case, the ACA next. Is that how you found it? Did it give you those kind of foundation blocks?
Oh, 100%. When I was getting some of the ACA exams and speaking to other students that were there and stuff, and some of them had been to university and then they decided to jump onto ACA, and it was like the simple things that you just become second nature from doing AAT, that they said that they were struggling to get the head around this or struggling to get the head around that, and I don't know how they managed to get to it without going through AAT, because it's the foundation of everything. Yeah. So yeah.
We hear that a lot, that it gives you those a lot more practical skills rather than maybe the degrees. Is that your experience or what you found from talking to people as well? Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And then once you got towards the end of your AATs and you were looking at the other options, why you kind of mentioned it earlier, but why did the ICAEW, the ACA qualification stand out for you? Because there are other options in terms of chartered accountancy. Why did that one fit best for you?
So at the practice I was working for, there was two partners. So one was with ICAEW and one had done ACCA. So I just went and had conversations with both of them. Got on to tell me about the structure, the exams, which route they thought would be best for me, because obviously they've been working with me for 3 years, so they kind of knew my strengths, where I was heading, and it just fell down to ACA. Just suited my personal situation the most. So yeah.
And as you say, that's worked out perfectly for you with your practice and everything now. So no regrets or anything there. You're confident you took the right route then, are you, Adam? Yeah.
My one regret is that I did A levels and I didn't jump straight into AAT after GCSEs. That's my one regret, that I didn't start it sooner. So I could have been 2 years in front.
Yeah, that's really good advice, actually, because obviously we talk at Premier, we talk to a lot of kind of school leavers, and we work with local schools and try and talk to them about accountancy as a profession as well. But that's great. It's different. I suppose it's different for everyone, isn't it? But that kind of advice, that you don't need necessarily to take the traditional route of A levels and a degree. There's all kinds of options. That's the beauty of it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know, Alexia, if you've got any questions for Adam, if you wanted to come in there, or we can carry on with your last couple of slides.
Well, I was just going to ask Adam how we found the kind of online training with ACA, because you can do it in a mixture of ways, and you chose online, and how you found that.
So once I'd got into a routine, I think after my first 1 or 2 exams, when I'd got myself stuck into a routine of, right, I had Tuesday nights and Thursday nights after work, I got home, and that's when I did my learning, and then just whenever I could at weekends. Once I'd found my rhythm of when I was going to do it and I'd got that set, it just flew through it. So Yeah. Which I guess is the benefit of it being there. It's online 24/7. Do you know what I mean? If I got a spare hour, I could just jump on and do an hour. It wasn't, oh, well, class isn't until Tuesday, so I'll just kill some time doing nothing. I could be proactive and be like, right, I'll do an hour on this, I'll do an hour on that, I'll get myself ready. So, yeah, it worked really well for me.
No, that's great. Yeah, so you could be really agile and it just fitted into kind of your work pattern, your kind of personal.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. And it's so Adam's, just thanks so much, Adam. It's just a great example, and you kind of busted a couple of myths there that are out there, that you have to be a graduate to train ACA, and all your training for ACA has to be in a classroom. You did yours online and was successful. So it's a great example for us to kind of bust some of those myths as well that are out there.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks for that, Adam. I think, Alexia, you've got a couple more slides, so would you like to move on to those next?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Right. Okay, and so there you go.
So I just wanted to let everyone know how your organisation you're working at can become an authorised training employer, because like I said, to train as a chartered accountant, you'd need to be under the umbrella of a training organisation. So we can arrange a meeting with the local training person like myself. Your employer would complete a simple application form. That would then involve a meeting, which can be virtual like this, or face-to-face, where we discuss training standards and meet our training team would meet the employer. And then once the application is approved, and it's a very quick process, that organisation is approved to train, and they can start training students whenever they're ready. So they can get ready to train and not train for a year, but they've got the authorisation in place. So it's a free process, and it's a quick, easy process as well. So I just wanted to let everyone know about that. So if you did want to go ahead, you can find one of my colleagues. That's the link there, www.icaew.com, learning and development. So it's quite a long one, but we'll put that out there later. Yeah. But you can just go on and find that on our website quite easily. And if you're employed, you can get your employer to become authorised to train if you're interested in moving on to ACA after AAT. Massive route of entry for ACA is AAT. Lots and lots of our trainees have done this great qualification prior to moving on to ACA. If you're not employed, you can sign up and look at training vacancies. We've got a recruitment portal where you can look at employers who are offering training agreements. Our employers use that to advertise for roles. So again, you can look at training vacancies. And we've got a dedicated page on our website as well for AAT trainees. So you're able to look at that page. You can sign up to newsletters. We offer monthly webinars as well, where you can find out more about the ACA. So lots of support there as well if you're wanting to find out about moving on to the ACA after completing AAT. And then if you want to stay in touch, we've got lots of social media channels where you can find us and tips. So on Facebook, like we're on the medium we're on today, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We've got our website, and then LinkedIn as well. So and finally training vacancies, like I mentioned. So I just wanted to let you know about that. But that's the presentation from me complete. So thanks very much for your time, everyone. And thanks for listening. And I'll hand over to Lee now.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for that, Alexia. That was really, really fascinating. It was good to get all the information there about the ACA qualification and that pathway. And I think the technology worked as well. I think our kind of test today, you were our guinea pigs, Alexia and Adam. I hope that's okay.
Glad it's worked.
We've not tried to. We got ambitious today, and touch wood, I think it worked. So yeah, but that was a brilliant presentation. As you said there were some links, Alexia, which I'm going to post in the Facebook comments straight after this session, so people can access those easily. What I'm also going to do, because of the nature of kind of the split screen here format, the presentation might be a bit small in places for people to see it all. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn that into a little quick video after this afternoon as well, and we'll pop that in the comment section, and you can watch through Alexia's presentation again in your own time as well. And I'm just looking to see if we've got any questions from the side. We've just got Sam saying hi, Rose also saying hi. So we've got a few people watching us live. but also obviously people can watch us afterwards, so you can rewatch this whole session, the whole half an hour, in your own time, with a cup of tea later if you wish. But yeah, thanks again, Adam, for joining us as well. It was really handy to kind of have an example yourself there who's followed that pathway and identify the advantages there of the AAT as a foundation, why you chose to move on to the ICAEW options, and also how the online learning and the flexibility of that worked for you as well. That was really interesting, and will be really interesting to a lot of our students, our distance learning students. I just wanted to just ask you one more question on that, if that's okay, Adam, if you've not got a dash off. But
yeah, no worries.
You mentioned there about that you kind of had your routine and you set a couple of nights during the week that's when I study, but then you had that flexibility there where if time came up, or I don't know, work finished early, or you just sat there and thought, right, I'm going to do another half an hour then. So that mixture of having a routine and that flexibility, is that the best way to go, do you think, for students, kind of distance learning students?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say that you definitely need to have some sort of structure just so that you can get stuck into it and get through the material. But yeah, that hybrid really worked for me. Having the structure meant that I was still always doing something every single week. I was always there learning, doing my assignments, whatever. But then that flexibility where you do have odd hours just crop up every now and again, and you can just utilize them to your advantage. It's really did work for me, definitely.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. That's sort of great advice for our students. We get asked that a lot, really, and every person's different as well, aren't they? So what worked for you might not work for them, but still having that kind of advice, they do ask us a lot, when should I study, how much should I study? And it really is a personal thing in terms of your lifestyle and your job, isn't it? But I think you're right, that kind of hybrid, having set times when you study and then trying to build on that as much as possible and progress through the qualifications as quickly as possible is great advice. So yeah, thanks very much for that, Adam, and thanks again for joining us today. Thanks also, Alexia, and lovely to see you again, and I'm sure we'll be back in touch about another session later this year, if that's okay.
No, thank you for inviting us. Definitely.
No, great. That's been really helpful. I know a lot of our students will really benefit from that. So as I say, we're going to post all the links after this. We'll post a video of Alexia's presentation. If you've got any questions at all when you're watching this later, pop them in the comments and we can pass them on. And yeah, thanks very much for everyone who's watched, and we'll see you again soon. So that's it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.